recording. One, because I found the mic setting that I actually like, and you'll see in the video I explore a lot of different ones. And two, because I need to give a couple of precautions. So, be careful of the audio. I wouldn't keep it too high because I couldn't hear myself. It's not that there were any parts that were significantly loud. I just don't like in my ASMR for it to get like a loud sound and then it wakes me up. Hopefully you go to sleep this. So I just totally just be aware of the sound. Hopefully this part sounds really good because I've tuned the mic to how I like it to sound. And I've put on the binaural. So yeah. Anyways, hi, I'm Rory. I am so happy to be here. I'm so happy to finally be doing this after so long. In this video, I will be reading a book, and that book is called Wayward by Amelia Hart, and I will repeat that probably 6 times in the recording coming up because I was so scattered-brained, because I was so excited to finally film ASMR. I was so excited, and you'll be able to tell how excited I am, unfortunately, so I apologize. Something else I want to address is in this book, and you'll discover it later, but in this book, I didn't realize that there was a trigger warning to be given. So for the reading, trigger warning for physical abuse, verbal abuse, sexual assault, sexual themes. I will set this video as not for kids. I won't put an age restriction because, at the end of the day, whatever, it's just like a book, but like, it's not a sexual book, it just has sexual themes. So yeah, I will say it's not for, anybody under 18 though. But yes, another thing I want to touch on is the gameplay. So in the back of this video, as you might have already been able to tell, I've decided to put Genshin gameplay. Yes, I play Genshin Impact. I love that game. I think it's so much fun. I think the character design is really cute, and although I don't watch that much anime, I like anime, but I'm not like a die-hard anime fan. I love the style. I love the art style. I love the art style. I love it. So yeah, I love that game. I've invested a lot of time and money. I've been playing for like 2 years. So in the background, you'll be seeing me playing that game. And something I wanted to touch on is that you'll see a lot of mental lagging. Like in some instances, I'll just be kind of standing there, and part of that is me being scared because I know I'm recording, so I'm not playing correctly. And I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry if that, I don't know, makes you mad or upset, but something I want to make sure that we're not doing is just commenting mean stuff. The point of me putting the gameplay in the background is not because it's good. It's not because my rotations are good. It's not because I think my rotations are good. It's because I think Genshin is very relaxing. And I've always wanted to play Genshin in ASMR at the same time. So yeah, I have a lot of ideas, but anyways, I talk a lot in this next installment coming up, this next little part, this next little recording. I talk so much about so many different things because I'm so excited. So I'm super sorry if that is distracting or if that is annoying. I'm gonna upload the video anyways because I want to cross 2 things off my bucket list at once. So yeah, I again hope you really enjoy the video, and I hope that I'm not too off-putting, but those are the only precautions I wanted to give. And I did go through the ASMR rite of passage. I recorded, but the recording stopped midway through, so I lost all my progress. So I've gone through the ASMR rite of passage, and it's just my first video. How ridiculous is that? How ridiculous is that? Anyways, yes, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah. Let's get into it. I'm just playing with the. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm moving the mic. I am moving. Okay. I was just moving the mic. I'm playing with the audio and I don't. Okay. This. Oh my god. This video is a whirlwind. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. This video is literally a whirlwind. This is like, I can't even. This video is just a lot, okay? It's just a lot. It's everything I've wanted to talk about, everything that I am talking about. But the point of this video, which I'm going to get into it, is me reading Wayward by Amelia Hart, I promise. But as I was saying, I love Slim Whisper's first video. And I think she's taken it down by now, but I love her first video where she was trying out the different mic settings on her Blue Yeti, and she was doing close whispers and like hand sounds, and she was doing. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hit you. I'm so sorry. She was doing all types of stuff, and it was really cool. Like mouth sounds and lotion sounds, which maybe I can do. Me staring at the lotion bottle on my desk. Anyways, the point of this is Wayward. I'm reading Wayward. I want to read 20 books by the end of this year, because I haven't read it in a long time, and I used to love reading, which I think is a sentiment a lot of us can share. Like everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people used to be such big readers, and like prodigious children, and then middle school just kind of crushed us, and we stopped reading, and we stopped staying true to ourselves, and we stopped embracing that loser culture. And yeah, but I'm trying to go back to my roots. I'm trying to go back to reading and going back to drawing, even though I suck at it, and just going back to things like that, because I value that time in my life, and I used to shut out that young girl, but I need to meet her again, because I think she's really cool. Like right now, I think she's really cool, and I want to meet with her. So, long 6-minute ramble over a bunch of bull. I'm so sorry. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna read the back of the book so you're not completely lost. 2019, Under Cover of Darkness. Kate flees London for Wayward Cottage, inherited from a great aunt she barely remembers. With its tumbling ivy and overgrown garden, the cottage is worlds away from the abusive partner who tormented Kate, but she begins to suspect that her great aunt had a secret, one that lurks in the bones of the cottage, hidden ever since the witch hunts of the 17th century. 1619. Altha is awaiting trial for the murder of a local farmer who was stampeded to death by his herd. When Altha was a girl, her mother taught her their magic, one rooted in a deep knowledge of the natural world. But unusual women have always been deemed dangerous, and as the evidence for witchcraft is set out against Altha, she knows it will take all her powers to maintain her freedom. 1942. 1942. I'm sorry, I think that's kind of tingly, maybe. 1942. 1942. 1942. Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry. As World War II rages, Violet is trapped in her family's grand, crumbling estate. Straight-jacketed by social convention, she longs for the robust education her brother receives, and for her mother, long deceased, who was rumored to have gone mad before her death. The only traces Violet has of her are a locket bearing the initial W and the word Wayward scratched onto the baseboard of her bedroom. Weaving together the stories of 3 extraordinary women across 5 centuries, Wayward is an enthralling novel of female resilience and the transformative power of the natural world. Okay, also, as I'm reading through this, I promise you I can read My cat's looking at me like I'm crazy. She always has this like judging eye. Maybe I'll put a picture of her up on the video, but she is this. She's so cute, but she always has this like judging eye. Anyways, we're gonna try this setting. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna like it. I guess we'll see. Wayward by Millie Hart for the last time. I promise. Hey guys, hey, I promise. I promise I'm not a scatterbrain bird brain. I promise. Okay. Wayward, a novel by Millie Hart. Maybe you can hear some page turning. It starts off, the Wayward sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land, thus do go about and about, thrice to thine, thrice to mine, and thrice again to make up nine. Peace, the charms wound up. Quote from Macbeth. Wayward is used in the first folio edition of Macbeth. In later versions, Wayward was replaced by Weird. I think I need to gain up. I'm so sorry if it's gonna be too loud. Please just let me know and just tell me never to do this again. Okay, I think I actually had turned it down. Anyways, can you hear that? That's the page. Part 1. Prologue. Alta, 1619. 10 days they'd held me there. 10 days with only the stink of my own flesh for company. Not even a rat graced me with its presence. There was nothing to attract in. They had brought me no food, only ale. Footsteps. Then the wrench of metal on metal as the bolt was drawn back. The light hurt my eyes. For a moment, the men in the doorway shimmered as if they were not of this world and had come to take me from it. The prosecutor's men, they had come to take me to trial. Now this was the one I'm assuming that was on trial for the, or not assuming, she was on trial for the death of the farmsman. Chapter 1. Kate, 2019. Kate is staring into the mirror when she hears it, the key scraping in the lock. Her fingers shake as she hurries to fix her makeup, dark threads of mascara spidering onto her lower lids. In the yellow light, she watches her pulse jump at her throat beneath the necklace he gave her for their last anniversary. The chain is silver and thick, cold against her skin. She doesn't wear it during the day when he's at work. The front door clicks shut, the slap of his shoes on the floorboards, wine gurgling into a glass. Panic flutters in her like a bird. She takes a deep breath, touches the ribbon of a scar on her left arm, smiles one last time into the bathroom mirror. She can't let him see that anything is different, that anything is wrong. Simon leans against the kitchen counter, wine glass in hand. Her blood pounds at the sight. The long, dark lines of him in his suit, the cut of his cheekbones, his golden hair. He watches her walk towards him in the dress she knows he likes. Stiff fabric, taut against her hips, red, the same color as her underwear. Oh my god. Lace with little bows, as if Kate herself is something to be unwrapped, to be torn open. Oh my god, I didn't know this was smut. She looks for clues. His tie is gone. 3 buttons of his shirt open to reveal fine curls. The whites of his eyes glow pink. He hands her a glass of wine and she catches the alcohol on his breath, sweet and pungent. Perspiration beads her back under her arms. The wine is Chardonnay, usually her favorite, but now the smell turns her stomach, makes her think of rot. She presses the glass to her lips without taking a sip. Hi, babe, she says in a bright voice, polished just for him. How was work? But the words catch in her throat. His eyes narrow. He moves quickly despite the alcohol, his fingers digging into the soft flesh of her bicep. Does this need a trigger warning? Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say trigger warning now because I don't know. After those first 2 sentences, or not 2 sentences, like those first couple paragraphs, I'm starting to think that this needs a trigger trigger warning: verbal abuse, um, sexual themes, alcohol themes, drugs themes, whatever. Just this, if you're under 18, hey, don't listen to this or whatever. I don't care what you do, but this is my trigger warning. He moves quickly despite the alcohol, his fingers digging into the soft flesh of her bicep. Where did you go today? She knows better than to twist out of his grasp, though every cell of her wants to. Instead, she places her hand on his chest. Nowhere, she says, trying to keep her voice steady. I've been home all day. She'd been careful to leave her iPhone at the apartment when she walked to the pharmacy to take only cash with her. She smiles, leans in to kiss him. His cheek is rough with stubble. Another smell mingles with the alcohol. Something heady and floral. Perfume, maybe. It wouldn't be the first time. A tiny flare of hope in her gut. It could work to her advantage if there's someone else. But she's miscalculated. He shifts away from her and then, liar. Kate barely hears the word as Simon's hand connects with her cheek. The pain dizzying like a bright light. Oh my god. At the edges of her vision, the colors of the room slide together. The gold white floorboards, the white leather couch, the kaleidoscope of the London skyline through the window. A distant crashing sound. She has dropped her glass of wine. She grips the counter, her breath coming out of her in a ragged burst. Blood pulsing in her cheek. Simon is putting on his coat, picking up his keys from the dinner table. Stay here, he says. I'll know if you don't. His shoes ring out against the floorboards. The door slams. She doesn't move until she hears the creak of the elevator down the shaft. He's gone. The floor glitters with broken glass. Wine hangs sour in the air. A copper taste in her mouth brings her back to herself. Her lip is bleeding. Caught against her teeth by the force of his hand, something switches in her brain. I'll know if you don't. It hadn't been enough, leaving her phone at home. He's found another way to track her. She remembers how the doorman eyed her in the lobby. Had Simon slipped them a wad of crisp notes to spy on her? Her blood freezes at the thought. If he finds out where she went, what she did earlier today, who knows what else he might do? Install cameras, take away her keys, and all her plans will come to nothing. She'll never get out. But no, she's ready enough, isn't she? If she leaves now, she could get there by morning. The drive will take 7 hours. She's plotted it carefully on her second phone, the one he doesn't know about, tracing the blue line on the screen, curling up the country like a ribbon. She's practically memorized it. Before I continue, I want to tell you guys, I can read, I promise. I don't know why sometimes my brain just like slips everything up and then I sound silly and I'm so sorry. But I can read, I can read, I can read, I can read, I can. So if anybody is watching this, please, 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 please do not judge me. Yes, she'll go now. She has to go now, before he returns, before she loses her nerve. She retrieves the Motorola from its hiding place, an envelope taped to the back of her bedside table, takes a duffel bag from the top shelf of the wardrobe, fills it with clothes. From the ensuite, she grabs her toiletries, the box she hid in the cupboard earlier that day. Quickly, she changes out of her red dress into dark jeans and a tight pink top. Her fingers tremble as she creaking open. Her heart pounds. The doorman's broad back is turned. He's talking to another resident, barely breathing. Kate presses herself small into the elevator, exhaling only when no one else appears, and the doors jerk shut. In the garage, she unlocks the Honda, which she bought before they met and is registered in her name. He can't surely ask the police to put a call out if she's driving her own car. She's watched enough crime shows, left of her own volition, they'll say. Volition is a nice word. Makes her think of flying. She turns the key in the ignition, then taps her great aunt's address into Google Maps. Google Maps. Google Maps. For months, she's repeated the words in her head like a mantra. Wayward Cottage, Grosbeck, Cumbria. Alright, chapter 2 is about Violet. I don't like this format of switching between them because I will forget. And I will have to come back. And see. Anyways, chapter 2, Violet, 1942. Violet hated Graham. She absolutely loathed him. Why did he get to study interesting things all day, like science and Latin, someone called Pythagoras, while she was supposed to be content sticking needles through a canvas? The worst part, she reflected as her wool skirt itched against her legs, was that he got to do all this in trousers. She ran down the main staircase as quietly as she could to avoid the wrath of father, who thoroughly disapproved of female exertion, and in parentheses, and it often seemed of Violet. She stifled a giggle at the sound of Graham puffing behind her. Even in her stuffy clothes, she could outrun him easily. And to think that only last night he'd boasted about wanting to go to war. Pigs had a greater chance of flying. Damn, she ate him up. And anyway, he was only 15, a year younger than Violet, and therefore far too young. It was for the best, really. Nearly all the men in the village had gone, and half of them had died, or so Violet had overheard, along with the butler, the footman, and the gardener's apprentice. Besides, Graham was her brother. She didn't want him to die, she supposed. Give it here, Graham hissed. Turning around, she saw that his round face was pink with effort and fury. He was angry because she'd stolen his Latin workbook and told him that he declined all his feminine nouns incorrectly. Shan't, she hissed back, clutching the workbook to her chest. You don't deserve it. You've put a more instead of arbor, for heaven's sake. At the bottom of the staircase, she scowled at one of the many portraits of father that hung on the wall, then turned left, weaving through the wood-paneled corridors before bursting into the kitchens. What are you playing at? Barked Miss Kirkby, gripping a meat cleaver in one hand and the burly carcass of a rabbit in the other. Could have chopped me finger off. I don't know what accent to use for this. I am a black woman from America. From the South, that is. So, I'm so sorry if I butcher this. That's like really embarrassing. Sorry, Violet shouted as she wrenched open the French windows, Graham panting behind her. They ran through the kitchen gardens, heady with the scent with the scent of mint and rosemary, and then they were in her favorite place in the world, the grounds. She turned around and grinned at Graham. Now that they were outside, he had no chance of catching up with her if she didn't want him to. He opened his mouth and sneezed. He had terrible hay fever. Hey, obsession. Father doesn't think so either. I don't care a fig what father thinks, Violet lied. And I certainly don't care what you think, though judging by your workbook, you spend less time thinking about my insect obsession and more time thinking about Latin nouns. Damn, she ate him up. I can see why he's mad. I would be mad too if I was getting ate up like that. He lumbered forward, nostrils flaring. Before he could make it within 5 paces of her, she flung the book at him a little harder than she intended and swung herself into the tree. Graham swore and turned back towards the hall, muttering. She felt a pang of guilt as she watched the angry retreat of his back. Things hadn't always been like this between them. Once, Graham had been her constant shadow. She remembered the way he used to crawl into her bed in the nursery to hide from a nightmare or a thunderstorm, burrowing against her until his breath was loud in her ears. They'd had all sorts of japes, ripping across the grounds until their knees were black with mud, marveling at the tiny silver fish in the beck, the red-breasted flutter of a robin. Until that awful summer's day, a day not unlike this one, in fact, with the same honey-colored light on the hills and the trees. She remembered the two of them lying on the grass behind the beech tree, breathing in meadow thistle and dandelions. She had been 8, Graham only 7. There were bees somewhere, calling out to her, beckoning. She had wandered over to the tree and found the hive, hanging from a branch like a nugget of gold. The bees glimmering, circling. She drew closer, stretched out her arms and grinned as she felt them land, the tickle of their tiny legs against her skin. She had turned to Graham, laughing at the wonder that shone from his face. "Can I have a go?" he said, eyes wide. She had known what would happen. She'd sobbed to her father later as his cane flashed through the air towards her. She didn't hear what he said, didn't see the dark fury of his face. She saw only Graham screaming as Nanny Metcalfe rushed him inside, the stings on his arm glowing pink. Father's cane split her palm open, and Violet felt it was less than she deserved. That's so sad. After that, father sent Graham to boarding school. Now he only came home for holidays and grew more and more unfamiliar. She knew deep down that she shouldn't have taught him so. She was only doing it because she couldn't forgive herself for the day of the bees. She couldn't forgive Graham either. He made her different. Violet shook the memory away and looked at her wristwatch. It was only 3 p.m. She had finished her lessons for the day, or rather, her governess, Miss Poole, had admitted defeat, hoping she wouldn't be missed for at least another hour. Violet climbed higher, enjoying the rough warmth of bark under her palms. In the hollow between 2 branches, she found the hairy seed of a peach nut. It would be perfect for her collection. The windowsill of her bedroom was lined with such treasures. The gold spiral of a snail shell, the silken remains of a butterfly's cocoon. Grinning, she stowed the peach nut in the pocket of her skirt and kept climbing. Soon, she was high enough to see the whole of Orton Hall, which with its sprawling stone buildings rather reminded her of a majestic spider lurking on the hillside. Higher still, and she could see the village, Crow's Beck, on the other side of the fells. It was beautiful, but something about it made her feel sad. It was like looking out over a prison, a green, beautiful prison with bird song and damselflies and the glowing amber waters of the beck, but a prison nonetheless. I'm so sorry I'm breathing so much. Anyways, for Violet had never left Orton Hall. She had never been to Crow's Beck. But why can't I go? She used to ask Nanny Metcalfe when she was younger, as the nurse set off for her Sunday walks with Miss Kirkby. You know the rule, Nanny Metcalfe would murmur, a glint of pity in her eyes. Your father's orders. But as Violet reflected, knowing a rule was not the same as understanding it. Sorry, let me reread that because I did not read that right, and nothing makes me more angry when somebody's reading out loud and they don't read a sentence correctly. But as Violet reflected, knowing a rule was not the same as understanding it. For years, she'd assumed the village was rife with danger. She imagined pickpockets and cutthroats lurking behind thatched cottages. This only enhanced where scorpions glittered like jewels in the sand. Yes, one day she would leave Orton Hall and travel the world as a scientist, a biologist, she hoped, or maybe an entomologist. Something to do with animals anyway, which in her experience were far preferable to humans. Nanny Metcalfe often spoke of the terrible fright Violet had given her when she was little. She had walked into the nursery one night to find a weasel, of all things, in Violet's cot. I screamed blue murder, Nanny Metcalfe would say, but there you were, bright as rain, and that weasel crawled up next to you, purring like a kitten. That's so cute. A kitten. A kitten. I like it when people pronounce their T's like that. They go kitten, or mitten, or smitten. My brother's ex-girlfriend used to do that. Okay, anyways, sorry. It was just as well that father never learned of this incident. As far as he was concerned, animals belonged on one's plate or mounted on one's wall. The only exception to this rule was Cecile, his Rhodesian ridgeback, a fearsome beast he had beaten into viciousness over the years. Oh my god. Violet was forever rescuing all manner of small creatures from his slobbering jaws. Most recently, a jumping spider that now resided in a hat box under her bed, lined with an old petticoat. She had named him, or her, it was rather hard to tell, Goldie, for the colorful stripes on his legs. Nanny Metcalfe was sworn to secrecy. Nanny Metcalfe is a real one. It seems like Nanny Metcalfe understands her more than her father, which makes sense. Anyways, though there were lots of things Nanny Metcalfe hadn't told her either, Violet reflected later as she dressed for dinner. After she changed into a soft linen frock, the offending wool skirt discarded on the floor, she turned to the looking glass. Her eyes were deep and dark, quite unlike father and Graham's watery blue ones. Violet thought her face quite strange looking, what with the unsightly red mole on her forehead. But she was proud of those eyes, and of her hair, which was dark too, with an opalescent sheen, not unlike the feathers of the crows that lived in the trees surrounding the hall. Do I look like my mother? Violet had been asking for as long as she could remember. There were no pictures of her mother. All she had of her was an old necklace with a dented oval pendant. The pendant had a W engraved in it, and she asked anyone who'd listen if her mother's name had been Winifred or Wilhelmina. Was she called Wallace? She had asked father once, having seen the name on the front page of the newspaper. He sent a bewildered Violet to her room without any dinner. Oh my god. Nanny Metcalfe was just as unhelpful. Can't quite recall your ma, she said. I was not long arrived when she passed. They met at the May Day Festival in 1925, Miss Kirkby would offer, nodding sagely. She were the Maid Queen, being so pretty. They were very much in love. But don't ask your father about it again, or you'll get a right whipping. These crumbs of information were hardly satisfactory. As a child, Violet wanted to know so much more. Where did her parents marry? Did her mother wear a veil? A flower crown? She pictured white stars of hawthorn to match a delicate lace dress. And did father blink away tears as he promised to have and to hold until death did them part? In the absence of any real facts, Violet clung to this image until she became certain that it had really happened. Yes, her father had loved her mother desperately, and death had done them part. She had a shadowy idea that her mother had died giving birth to Graham. That was why he couldn't bear to talk about it. But occasionally, something would blur the image in Violet's head, like a rippled She were a local lass, Miss Kirkby said, from Crowsbeck Way. The master's parents would have been furious. But they'd passed. Just a month before the wedding. His older brother too. Coach accident. It was very sudden. There was a sharp intake of breath from Miss Bull. What? And they still went ahead with the wedding. Was Lady Aries in the family way? Lady Aries, I'm assuming that was, I'm sorry, this quick interruption. I'm assuming Aries, A-Y-R-E-S, A-Y-R-E-S was her last name, first name, whatever. Miss Kirkby made a non-committal noise before continuing. He was very taken with her, I'll say that much, at first anyway. A rare beauty she were, and so much like the young lady, not just in looks. How do you mean? Another pause. Well, she were, what Ruth said, uncanny, strange. Okay, last chapter oh, this is a quick one. Okay, well, this will be the last chapter, which is chapter 3, and it's Alta's point of view. Back to Alta. This was the one from the 17th century. The men took me from the cow through the village square. I tried to twist my body away to hide my face, but one of them pinned my arms behind my back and pushed me forward. My hair swung in front of me, as loose and soiled as a horse. Oh my god. Anyways, I looked at the ground to avoid the stares of the villagers. I felt their eyes on my body as if they were hands. Shame throbbed in my cheeks. My stomach turned at the smell of bread, and I realized that we were walking past the baker's stall. I wondered if the Dinsdales, were watching. Just last winter, I had nursed their daughter back from a fever. I wondered who else bore witness, who else was happy to leave me to this fate. I wondered if Grace was there, or if she was already in Lancaster. They bundled me into the cart as easily as if I weighed nothing. The mule was a poor beast. It looked almost as starved as I was, its ribs jutting out beneath its stole coat. I wanted to reach out and touch it, to feel the beat of its blood beneath its skin, but I didn't dare. As we set off, one of the men gave me a sip of water and a heel of stale bread. I crumpled it into my mouth with my fingers before leaning over the side of the cart to vomit it up. The shorter man laughed, his breath rancid in my face. I lay back against the seat and tilted my head so that I could look out at the passing countryside. Another quick pause. When she said rancid breath, first of all, I was thinking about, you guys know how your breath smells when you haven't eaten something in like a very long time and you're hungry and it's like your stomach acid and your breath smells really bad. I imagine that was 10 times worse back in the 17th century. Because, dude, they didn't brush their teeth, right? Please let me know if you're watching this in the comments what the actual situation was, because my understanding is that they did not brush their teeth. So I'm assuming their breath smelled like straight buns. Anyways, she's getting on the thing. She's looking out the window. She just threw up. We were on the road that runs alongside the beck. My eyes were still weak, and the beck was just a blur of sunlight and water. But I could hear its music and smell its clean iron scent. There's so many nature themes in this book. Sorry. The same beck that curved bright around my cottage, where my mother had pointed out the minnows shooting out from under the pebbles, the tight buds of angelica growing along the banks. A dark shadow passed over me, and I thought I heard the beat of wings. The sound reminded me of my mother's groan, of the night under the oak tree. The memory turned in me like a knife. My last thought before I drifted into darkness was that I was glad Janet Wayward did not live to see her daughter thus. Which I'm assuming is her mom. I lost count of the number of times the sun rose and fell in the sky before we reached Lancaster. I'd never been to such a place. I'd never even left the valley. The smell of 1,000 people and animals was so strong that I narrowed my eyes to squint in case I could see it hanging in the air. I'm sorry if I keep hitting the mic, a single note of birdsong. I sat up in the cart to look around. There were so many people, men, women, and children thronged in the streets. The women hitching up their skirts as they stepped over mounds of horse dung. A man cooked chestnuts over a fire. Chestnuts. The smell of their golden flesh made me dizzy. It was a bright afternoon, but I was shivering. I looked down at my fingernails. They were blue. Does that mean hypothermia? I thought that meant hypothermia. Anyways, we stopped outside a great stone building. I knew without needing to ask that it was the castle, where they held the assizes. It had the look of a place where lives weighed up. They pulled me from the cart and took me in, shutting the doors behind me so that I was swallowed whole. The courtroom was like nothing I'd ever seen before. The sun flared through the windows, lighting on stone pillars that reminded me of trees curving towards the sky, but such beauty did not to quell my fear. The two judges were seated on a high bench, as if they were heavenly beings rather than meat and bone like the rest of us. They put me in mind of two fat beetles with their black gowns, fur-trimmed mantles, and the curious dark caps. To the side of the jury, 12 men. They did not look me in the eye. None bar a square-jawed man with a kink in his nose. His eyes were soft, with pity perhaps. I could not bear the sight of it. I turned my face away. The prosecuting magistrate entered the room. He was a tall man, and above his sober gown, his face had the raw, pitied sign of the pox. Oh, the chicken pox. I gripped the wooden seat of the dock to steady myself as he took his place across from me. His eyes were pale blue, like a jackdaw's, but cold. One of the judges looked at me. Out the wayward, he began, frowning as though my name might sully his mouth. You stand accused of practicing the wicked and devilish arts called witchcraft, and by said witchcraft feloniously causing the death of John Milburn. How do you plead? I wet my lips. My tongue seemed to have swollen, and I worried that I would choke on the words before I got them out. But before I spoke, my voice was clear. Not guilty, I said. Okay, the next chapter is Kate, and I want to continue reading it, but I have somewhere to go soon, so I am going to put the little bookmark in here. I need to buy actual bookmarks. I don't have real ones. I wish you guys could see this. It's like, that little plastic roller you would have in your binders. That's like what my bookmark is right now, with a bunch of like stickies on it, but I don't know what I'm gonna put in the thank you. Oh wait, sorry. Thank you for chilling with me. If you have been, thank you. This is like 45-minute long video. I wish you could like hear that doesn't sound good. I wish you could hear like the tapping on the book properly. I don't have any nails right now. I would love to do like a tracing because the cover is so beautiful. It has so many. No wonder why. The cover is like nature. Like no wonder. But the entire cover is beautiful. It has like dragonflies and bees and lemons and different flowers and different herbs and mushrooms and butterflies and beetles, and there's a crow. That's like the main thing, which I'm assuming has a lot to do with Althea, right? Althea's mother's crow that she mentioned. Her mother's name was what? Jenny. But yes, thank you guys for hanging out with me. If this does something, then maybe I'll do an introduction video so you have a name to the voice, or like you can see me, but like you can't see me, but whatever, dude. You know what I mean? Like you can give the name to face, except you won't see my face. So like name to voice. Okay, I'm so sorry. At this point, I know you're like, okay, dude, you're like dragging it on. You're dragging it on. Wrap it up. But I'm sorry. I'm just really excited to be talking into a mic like this and to upload a video like this. I'm not quite sure what the video is gonna be. It could be me playing Genshin in the back. It could be just a black screen. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. I'm just recording this audio, and I'm super excited to, think I've learned that I like it when I'm more backed up from the mic because I tended to whisper or like breathe on the mic too much. So I'm gonna back it up a little bit. I'm gonna back it up. I'm gonna back it up and try not to be so close for the next one. But thank you guys so much for tuning in again. And this is like the third bye, but this is the final goodbye. Not forever. Not forever. But this is the final goodbye. Until next time, and I hope next time maybe I'll do an introduction or like a ramble or like play League because I love League of Legends. I'm so sorry. I'm like the worst person ever. I play Genshin, League of Legends, all waivers games, Wuthering Waves, Valorant. It's so bad. Overwatch. Oh god, that's so embarrassing to say. Or maybe I'll do like a Minecraft video. Anyways, there's a lot to look forward to. I think for me right now, even if there's nobody watching, I'm very excited to play and whisper. Playing and whispering and playing and whispering and playing and whispering and playing and whispering and playing and whispering. So yeah, okay, I'm so sorry. I'm like extending this. I don't mean to. I really don't mean to. Again, I'm just very excited. So thank you guys. And I think at some points you couldn't really hear what I was saying, what I was reading. So I am so sorry if you care about the story and you were really into the story. Maybe I'll read some more. Maybe I'll wait to read some more until I can read some more on stream. So yeah, thank you guys. Also, I'm sorry if you don't like mouth sounds. When I whisper, I naturally